Oh, what's up? How's it going, guys? Good to see you. Good to see you, Bob and Mark. Gonna wait for a few more folks to roll in. But so while I do that, let me just welcome you if you're watching this at a later date to Stock Watch Sunday. My name is Brad, and this is On the Chaos. You know, the business and world of finance is a crazy and chaotic place, and I've made it my mission to help you guys own it. So welcome to Own the Chaos. Hopefully I earn a subscription from you and a thumbs up with it on this video. If you got some value out of this or if you learned something, I do this every Sunday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. Right now I did it at 8:33 p.m. Eastern time, so I'm a couple minutes late. And to be completely fair, I just was, I got caught up in football news. I had no other excuse as to why I'm 3 minutes late. I just, I was sucked in. So, well, what's going on? Let me welcome some folks here as you guys start to roll in. What's going on? Quick Red Fox, Shark, Tammy. Tammy, I haven't seen you in a while. Or maybe you just haven't said hello in a while. But welcome. Good to see you. My eyebrows still love you, by the way. I have not forgotten about you. Our voice is really deep. Okay, let me do let me change. Is that better? This mic is think about had it. What's going on, guys? I know. Okay. Yeah, sometimes when I unplug it and plug it back in, it works just fine. I don't know what's up with that. But yeah, what's going on, Joe? Peter, Hussein, Blade Runner. Cal PP. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, Vikings. I mean, Kirk Cousins and Stephon Diggs freaking killed it. I mean, nobody really cared about the Ravens game because it was the Bengals. So, it is what it is. But Lamar Jackson's still breaking records. Still hasn't played a full 16 games. Hasn't played a whole season really yet. And the guy's still just crushing records. So it's pretty awesome. Lamar Jackson, I don't know. I'm super excited about that kid. I'm excited for the future of the Ravens. Maybe we won't win a Super Bowl this year. Our defense, I think, needs some help. But, I think we're on the right track. I think I'm super excited for it. I can't believe the Jets won, to be honest with you, Peter. Could be louder. So let me see if I can move this over. Oh, pattern. What's going on, Sonny? Yeah. Cool. Sounds like I'm on helium still. So am I better or am I worse? Hello, hello. Do I sound okay now? Okay. All right. So yeah, I just happened to move my mic closer. Maybe that's what it was. Okay, so let's get to it. So there's the top 8 stocks that I'm watching this week. If you guys haven't been here in a while and you're just coming back, I've kind of evolved Stock Watch Sunday a little bit. I go over some OTCs and then I go over some big board stocks. What I've found is that people really kind of enjoy me going over both, especially as I've started to, turn into some of the bigger board stuff and just kind of focus on current events and that sort of thing. So you guys really seem to be receptive to that. So I'm just going to keep that going. And so first half of this cast is going to be on OTC penny stocks. That's where I cut my teeth at. That's how I was able to become a full-time day trader on OTCs. So we're going to cover that still. And then we'll go over some of the big board stuff. We got a lot of earnings coming up this week. Netflix. All the big banks are, have earnings this week. So very important to keep an eye on that. Trade war stuff. Trump seems to say that the trade war, or the trade talks between China and the U.S. are looking positive. So we saw that as a result on Friday that the market skyrocketed. Futures are way up already on this Sunday night. So should be interesting to see how all that plays out throughout the week. And yeah. Get on with it already. All right. Fair enough. So the first one we're going to be watching is going to be UNRG. So UNRG is, one that we've had on Stock Watch Sunday here and there. It's been on and then it's been off and then we brought it back on. I think I had it on last Stock Watch Sunday. I can't remember off the top of my head. I didn't go back and watch, but I have it on here because of, they went through officer change this week. And so they started to have a little bit of a sell-off. Reinstatement took place. And, but I think the reason there's this a small sell-off, I think possibly for a sell the news type of situation. But, the other thing is that you look at something like this and you say, well, maybe there was some boredom going on. Maybe there's a reason for the selling. And I think there was. It seems to be holding pretty well considering where it's come from originally. I mean, I would say that if it holds above 20 cents, we're probably in good shape. What I'm looking for now is for filings. So if you go over to WeTradeHQ.com, we do now have SOS and SEC filings that do show up on here. So if you go search out a ticker and you're an OTC trader, you're going to find this very useful. Still working out some of the kinks, but it's really nice. If you're used to just going to OTC markets all the time, fear not. Now you can just go to WeTradeHQ and it's all right here for you. You can go check out the chart. You can go check out the filings and as far as SOS and SEC filings, there's more to come. And again, this is all for free. You can come in here, you can create an account. This isn't like Investors Hub, guys. This is completely different. You can still chat amongst your friends about what it is that you're looking at, formatted posts, all that good stuff. So come over and check it out at WeTradeHQ.com. But UNRG, I think, is still one to watch. I'm still on free shares. But given the fact that so much has been set in motion over the last 6 weeks, I think that this is going to be another really good patience play that ends up paying off in the long run. What I'm looking for right now is actual filings. So as you can see here, we haven't seen any SEC filings on this since 2013. So it's obviously pretty dormant, dark and defunct. Like I said, they're going through the reinstatement. They're going through a lot of changes here. And so I think the reverse merger on this is really kind of steadily going through. And if we start to see filings on this, I think that we see another surge on this. The nice thing I will say is that the share structure is super tiny. So it doesn't take a whole lot to get this thing moving. And that's why I still have UNRG very much on the watch list going into this week. Hussein says, correct me if I'm wrong, but there has been news that there was supposed to be a merger news announcement on UNRG this week. I haven't seen that officially. The one thing that I will say, Hussein, is that I take things that I see on Twitter and in chat rooms and stuff like that with a grain of salt. So, until I see it in black and white, in a filing, that sort of thing, then that's what I'm going to really kind of take as gospel. But like I said, I mentioned this before, this thing has run so considerably that, you just have to look at this and say, okay, this has ran up to and upwards of 5,000%. There has had to have been some sort of pullback. And I think that this was the pullback that actually took place, and it kind of needed to happen. Nothing can just go straight up. So it's just one of those things that I think is very much worth keeping on the radar still. And if you are looking to, add to a position or even get a starter position to scale yourself in, I would say that this is probably a decent place to do that in the low 20s. And again, don't just go ahead and, go all crazy and put your entire position size into it at one shot. Scale yourself in and look to see how this might end up moving. Next one's going to be TCELL. So TCELL had some filings come out. So again, if you go to WeTradeHQ, you can see that the filings showed up on Friday. They've been putting out filings all week. It got some monster volume on Friday. It's held very nicely, honestly, for a TRIPS stock. First of all, it's very thin. And second of all, it's just been held. It's held very nicely up at 0007 and now getting ready to break back up over 001. If this starts to sustain in the 00 area, this will start to trade much nicer. So if this can sustain staying out of the trips, I imagine that TCELL is going to look very good. They got a lot of other good stuff going on. We've talked about TCELL at length before, so I'm not going to waste a whole lot of time on due diligence as far as that's concerned. But I wanted to point out that filings have been showing up on this thing. And as you can see, just Friday, there was 2 10Ks that showed up. And so, yeah, this is something that I think is going to be a nice little mover. Once they get themselves current, they'll be able to give us everything that they've been up to this point. But again, you can see that they've Thursday, Friday, they put out filings to get themselves current. I expect an attorney letter, and the rest of the filings very soon. This is exciting stuff. Something that's as cheap as this definitely has potential to at least go to maybe 003, 004, given the share structure and all that good stuff. Maybe even more, depending on what kind of catalysts we see out of TCELL. But I think right now, given the fact that there hasn't been a whole lot of volume with this thing, and it's sustained these gains from 0002. I mean, it's kind of crazy to see it sustain all the way up here. So very happy to see that with TCELL. Definitely one worth watching. What should you do if you're not in on TCELL yet? I would wait. I would wait to see if it drops back down into 0009 and get yourself some nice cheap shares there. If it comes all the way back down to 0007, that seems to be where it kind of likes to hang out support-wise. So if it does happen to do that, I would consider scooping up some shares there. But again, always scale yourself in. When you're looking to get a position on something, don't just, hop on all in, take your whole position size and just buy it all up all at once. Scale yourself in, get yourself a good average, as far as your position is concerned, and I think you'll be good. So TCELL, another one to watch out for. I expect that there's going to be more filings to come. So this one's going to be a good one to watch. For show. Can I give you the scoop on PTAH? That was just kind of a lotto type play. We'll see if PTAH actually moves, but it was more of a lotto type play just right now. Joe says there were messages from DeSanti saying that it's up in the merging company when we will hear updates. Think we'll hear something soon. I'm with you, man. I hope that you know how CEOs are. They always like to paint the prettiest picture. So hopefully he stays true to his word. He hasn't really given us any reason to not trust him, but it is what it is. This is the OTC. So I hope he's right. I hope that he follows through with that. And if he does, I think it's going to turn out to be a pretty good week for sure. All right. Yeah, let's not spam the whole chat with a particular ticker. If you have a ticker, fine. If you want to see it, if you think it's got potential, give me some reason as to why you think it's going to be moving. So rather get 0007s and 8s on TCELL, as it will drop again. Maybe it does. If it does, then I think that would be an appropriate price range to scoop up some shares. TBSS, glad you brought that up, Christian. So because that's going to be the next ticker I'm going to be talking about. Richard Trang didn't confirm, denied CEO's Fragrance Group Limited. Did say that all I can say is if your shareholders sit tight, PR in the near future. So having said that, TBSS, yes. This is one that a lot of people have started to accumulate positions on, and this chart looks pretty atrocious. But having said that, these charts look like this because this is a custodianship, and we're looking for some sort of merger announcement from Chang and whoever's merging in here. I will say that Secretary of State has new officers on it. This James Coe person, there's a lot of speculation as to who this James Coe is. Is he an NFL announcer? The NFL commentator, news anchor. So there was a rumor going around that this is the same James Coe that was the NFL anchor for NFL Network. I really have a hard time believing that that's the same guy, but I've been surprised before, so I'm not going to say it's not. But there's a lot of James Coes out there. I wouldn't take that as gospel. Somebody's already saying he denied it. So yeah, I would say not that guy. And that's just kind of one of those things that you have to go and do, like reach out, see if that's the actual guy. But yeah, some people like to blow it up and make it bigger than it actually is. And this could be just as big, who knows, but thanks for the insight, Christian. Appreciate it. Yeah, you guys crushed on SES on Friday. That was amazing. All right. So, last one that I want to that I have on my watch list, and I'll get to you guys as far as things that you would like me to look at, is CMGO. Okay, CMGO has always gotten this bad rap since about March, April. Whenever the court case settlement went through, and everybody, let me just come back here and talk to you guys about this. So if you aren't familiar with the history on CMGO, there was speculation that they were going to be getting some sort of $200 million lawsuit. And that's what the original lawsuit was, what they were suing them for originally. The CEO never led anybody to believe that they were actually going to get a $200 million lawsuit. Turns out it was about 1% of that. But what I will say is that it's time to let go of that. For those of you who maybe got burned by that, listen, when I talked about it, I said, here's how it's going to go down. If they have a 9-figure settlement, then it's going to go crazy. It's going to go to the moon. People will be buying the hell out of it. If it's not, if it's way less than what people expect it to be, then it's going to tank. Sure enough, it was way less than what people expected to be, and it tanked. That's just how they go. But it's time to forget about all of that. It's time to actually understand that CMGO has a real business, has a legitimate business, and they are rubbing elbows with some big players. So, having said that, they recently came out with news with a potential partnership with Timberland, the company Timberland that sells boots and all that other good stuff. And so news came out, they continue to burnish its reputation as the go-to agency for jobs done on short notice, done right. XA put together a dinner presentation for the CEO of Timberland. Timberland event was proposed to Alexis Lakin, yada, yada, yada. And so just to put it in perspective, give you a short, explanation of what's going on here. They are getting these clients of high caliber. A growth has been successful, capturing a number of new clients, including Timberland, J.Crew, Madwell, EA Sports, and others. Did you hear those names already? So when are people going to actually take CMGO seriously? Everybody forgets, just forget about the settlement here and just understand that they're still a legitimate company, and they still have an operation that they've been working on. So this is going to be, I think, another good move for CMGO. And the one thing that you need to understand in the OTC is that you just have to have a short memory with some of this stuff. Yes, it's important to remember the experiences that you've had on certain things that might have burned you in the past, but this CEO, this company did not burn anybody. It was everybody else that overhyped this lawsuit that got themselves burned. So I think that there's going to be a really bright future for CMGO. This isn't going to be one that I'm going to be watching not only this week, but also through the end of the year and maybe into 2020. I think that CMGO is trying to legitimize their company, and it's definitely worth watching and keeping on the radar. It's just too low down here. When you're looking at something like this, you're looking at the chart and it's held very well, very good support at 006, and really it's been rare occasions that it's gone below that. But I think it's just flying under a lot of people's radars because of the stigma that it had for, quite some time. Everybody was expecting some huge major settlement. And then when that didn't happen, they all got pissed. And it's it was to no fault of the CEO, So, New Hampshire Timberland, that's huge. Yeah, Jane says, yeah. Okay. Okay, so Sick Puppy, so I'll answer that question in just a second. PFMS, based on Lazar's time frame, in certain terms of his other shells, it looks like filing should possibly come out this week. It's been holding 0030. Yes, PFMS is still something that I have out on free shares, and I've been holding this one for quite some time. Got this one in the low 00 range, doubled my position. Sold half, have free shares, and I'm pretty happy with it so far. So PFMS has been holding very well. Let's come out to the 1 hour chart and just kind of look at this. So this is the crazy thing about a lot of these 000 stocks that gain custodianships is that, they just hold very, very well. TRDX was probably one of the latest examples of PFM of a 000 stock that, went through the custodianship, got all the filings together, and really had some nice moves. This is the same kind of situation as PFMS as TRDX is. This is Dave Lazar custodianship. And so it's been holding very well. According to Dave Lazar's typical timeline, I would agree that we should be expecting some sort of filings from them very soon. If filings do occur, we should see a nice pop from PFMS. And so if you're looking for an area to accumulate shares, I would say either anywhere between 003 and 0044. You could even make a tighter window there at just 004, 003. But nevertheless, I think it's been holding its gains quite well considering where it's come from at 0002, 0003. It's nice to see it holding here even on low volume. People aren't getting bored with this. People are finally being patient, and it's kind of refreshing to see somebody being like, to see a few traders out there that are like, you know what, willing to be patient on this one, and let's see where it goes. There's been a really good reputation with some of these De Lazar ones. They've had a lot of good moves from them. And so I think that we see another nice move from PFMS. And this is one I'm definitely continuing to be patient on. Will we see filings this week? I don't know. But yes, we should see them rather soon. Exactly. So just to go back to my sentiments on CMGO, Blade Runner said CEO didn't get everybody's hopes up. iHub did, and it couldn't be more true. But yeah, so I think the legitimacy to CMGO is just that. It's legitimate. Yeah, no problem, Hussein. I'm glad I could help for sure. So let me go back and to answer somebody's question. Oh, sick puppy. Yeah. My broker, Fidelity, refused many OTC stocks and penny stock trades. What trading platform do you recommend for that type of trading? Oops. Sorry about that. So sick puppy, I have a video. I put a video out about a week and a half ago about the big three that have zero commissions now, which ones I would go with. Charles Schwab has the best customer service, hands down, period. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Charles Schwab will also, to my understanding, is the only one that lets you trade OTC penny stocks for free now. Out of the big three, E-Trade, TD Ameritrade, and Charles Schwab is the only one that will now allow you to trade OTC penny stocks for free, no commissions. They're the only ones that haven't gone back on their word. E-Trade then went back on their word. TD Ameritrade said that's never going to happen. They never even really started providing OTC trades for free. I'm sure there's a couple people that got through the cracks on that, but that was a wild and crazy week. But Charles Schwab has never wavered. They said OTC penny stocks are for free, and that's all there is to it. So what would be my recommendation as far as that's concerned? Fidelity. It's been so long since I had a Fidelity account. It's been years and years since I had a Fidelity account. And so I wouldn't suggest using Fidelity anyway if you wanted to become an active trader. I don't think Fidelity is really set up for active traders such as myself and a lot of people that are watching. So I would just, honestly, if you're looking to trade OTC penny stocks, Charles Schwab's it for you. I don't really like their platform, like their trading platform as far as Street Smart Edge is concerned. I don't think that's the best one out there. I still think that TOS has the best platform as far as, technical analysis and all that stuff's concerned. So take that for what you will. I always suggest having multiple brokerages for that reason. And so this is another case where I would suggest go get yourself a Charles Schwab account. You won't be disappointed. You'll thank me later. Trust me. iHub is trash. No comment, but that's why We Trade HQ exists, right? Tell everybody at iHub just to come to freaking We Trade HQ already. We have everything they have. We're working on some of the level 2 stuff that people are requesting on. That stuff's coming, but provide us some more support. Start making posts on We Trade HQ. It's free. You don't have to pay to make posts. Why are people still over there? Honestly. You keep the trash people over there, but bring the good ones over. How about that? Bob says hit the like button. Yeah, absolutely. Driver Day says you can't buy or sell any more than 999,000 shares. That's true, but work your way into a position. You'll be fine. Boom. Yeah, that's right. All right. So now we got we went over, all over the OTC stuff. Let's hit some of the big board stocks real quick. So Netflix has earnings on Wednesday. This has made some incredible moves over the last week and a half. First time in a long time that we've seen so many green candles on the daily chart from Netflix, coming from its lows all the way down at 254. It's now threatening to break up over 283. I think that we see that happen. I think, honestly, if you look at this on the daily chart, it's got a pretty strong resistance here around $300 a share. So I've been trading both sides of Netflix over the last several weeks. I've shorted the hell out of this thing, and then once it finally started moving back up, I then went long on it again. And I think that it might be in your best interest to consider going long on this, at least until Wednesday. I think we start to see a nice move up on Netflix. And then I would not suggest holding anything over on earnings, period. But I think that it's worth a shot playing this into earnings and then not holding any shares overnight through earnings and then just kind of seeing where it goes. Obviously, if they have poor earnings, we'll probably look to short this thing. But I think going up to the earnings report, we will start to see strong moves on Netflix. And so if it breaks up over this 284 resistance, I think it will. We probably will see a continuation up into the $300 range on Monday, Tuesday, and then we'll see what happens on Wednesday as far as earnings are concerned. You know, it's been pretty wild with all these publicly traded streaming companies such as Roku, Disney, Comcast, Amazon, all these other ones. I mean, obviously Amazon and Disney have more going on than just their streaming services, but as they've all related, you know, they started the industry is becoming more and more competitive. Netflix seems to still remain pretty constant. Obviously, it's been pretty bearish over the last couple of weeks, but starting to make moves back up. So it's good to see from Netflix. Honestly, I don't think Netflix is ever going to go anywhere. They're just too freaking big. So, but having said that, I think that's the play here. If it starts to break up over 284 this week, tomorrow, even Tuesday, look for it to make a nice move to the $300 range. You'll be happy with that trade, I think. Sticking with the streaming services, Roku obviously had a fall far from grace, came all the way back down and bottomed out around $97 and has made nothing but strong moves ever since. I don't know why. You really can't give anybody a clear reason as to why Roku does what it does. You know, it doesn't follow the market hardly ever. And the reason why this has been going back up, there's no other reason why it would go. I don't know. Other than for technical reasons, there's no reason why you can explain to me why this has been making such a move. But having said that, maybe it's just a gap fill. Who knows? But it's one of those things that I think that it'll continue to move because of the hype. And if you look at the chart here, the gap's already filled up, and there's a pretty strong resistance at 127. 127, 128. If it breaks up over that, I think it makes a nice move to 140. But again, it's Roku. This thing is, it has a mind of its own. You know, it marches to a beat of its own drum. It doesn't care what the overall markets are doing. If the markets are down, Roku's up. So as the markets are up, Roku's down. It just doesn't matter. So, you know, just take that for what you will. I think that if it breaks up over, again, 127, 128, then you're going to want to remain long. You're going to want to remain bullish on Roku. And that's kind of all there is to it. So it's just one of those things. You know, there's a couple of big board stocks out there that act like this. One of them being Tesla, which we're going to talk about in a second. And another big major one is Roku. And to a certain extent, you could say that BYND, Beyond Meat, is another one that does that. It doesn't really seem to matter how the overall market's doing. It just kind of does whatever it wants. So, yeah. Netflix is pulling itself off of Roku platforms. It was announced today it will make them act odd tomorrow. Yeah, I forgot about that, Blade Runner. Thanks for bringing that to our attention. So, very good point there. Bob, just wanted to thank you, Shark181. Thanks for the donation, pal. I really appreciate it. I always like to shout those folks out that are donating to the channel, supporting the cause. So, thank you very much for that. Shop did the same thing. Yeah, absolutely. Sick puppy. So, yeah, thanks for the donation, buddy. And moving on to the next one is going to be a Bed Bath & Beyond. Now, Bed Bath & Beyond got a new CEO, and I made the mistake of shorting this thing on Friday and kind of got my butt handed to me. Not too bad. I mean, I covered with plenty of time, but I shorted this thing thinking that it was going to come back down on Friday, and it didn't, so it ended up covering early. But now it's going to be, touch and go with BBBY. So Bed Bath & Beyond, again, still moving on this new CEO. I think it's extremely overextended. So if we look at this, it's now approaching $13 range. If it breaks through $13, we'll probably see a move up to $13.65, somewhere around there, because there's really nothing stopping it on this chart. Having said all that, this can't go on forever. I would imagine there's got to be a gap fill at some point somewhere. It's just made an insane move. So I'm going to say that I will still be short on this. I don't know where the short's going to take place. If it breaks up over $13, I may take a short, just kind of a scalp position, if you will, if it starts to break over $13, because I guarantee you I can't say guarantee, but I have a strong feeling that this will probably move to 1350, 1360. After that, if the excitement starts to wear off a little bit, the sentiment's down, we'll start to see some sort of gap fill on Bed Bath & Beyond. So look out for that. Nevertheless, me and the mentorship group, we made a bunch of money on BBBY on the long side. Made great trades on this one. So it was very, very good to see on BBBY. The very last one I'm going to talk about is Netflix. And this is a little bit of a bonus one because I said top 7 in the title, but this is the 8th one that I'm talking about, and it's going to be Tesla. So Tesla, man, this stock has gone crazy. I had this on Stockwatch Sunday last week. So if you guys weren't privy to that conversation last week on Stockwatch Sunday, I talked about this one being bullish if it was up over 230. Y'all should have made a killing on it on Tesla because that's exactly what it did. Went all the way up to 250, almost to 250. I traded this all week and I freaking crushed it. Everybody in the morning mentorship crushed it. And so, it was a really amazing trade. Where do I think it's going to go from here? Well, if it can break over 250, so 250 is a pretty solid resistance for Tesla. If it breaks up over 250, I would consider getting a position around maybe 251, 252, because it should continue all the way up to at least into the 260s. And I don't think it's all going to happen in one day, but I think this would be worth swinging if it breaks over 250. Maybe a 1 or 2 day swing trade, on Tesla. Definitely think worth doing. And you probably will come out pretty strong on that one. Look for some sort of consolidation though before it breaks up over 250. I think that it's just a really strong resistance, both mentally and based off of the chart. I think it's just a strong resistance overall. So it might take a lot for it to break over 250, but if it does, I think we see a nice continuation on Tesla. So look out for that one. And speaking of the morning mentorship, I just mentioned it a couple of times there. I am running a discount, so be on the lookout for that. The coupon code is going to be earnings. So we have a bunch of earnings coming out this week. So look for that. If you have yet to have joined the mentorship, the morning mentorship. What happens is I go live with folks from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern time via Zoom. You can physically ask me questions. It's not in a chat function. It's like a video conference. You can ask me questions via voice, and I will answer those for you. And it's a really good atmosphere. So it's not just that I'm here with you guys for 1 hour a day. I'm also here in the Discord chat group all day long. So if you can't make the live stream for whatever reason, first of all, I pre-record all of them. So if you missed one, you can go back and watch it later. And, I'm there with you in Discord throughout the entire day. So there's people that are in this on this video right now that can attest about how much of a great environment it is. And so earnings is going to be the discount code, and you will get, I'll type it in here. Earnings is going to be the discount code, and you will get 20% off. So there you go. Earnings is discount code if you're not part of the We Trade HQ fam yet, or over in the Own the Chaos mentorship. So go check that out. By the way, Northern, just seeing, R. Hank says, yes, it is. Appreciate the love, brother. By the way, Northern Pike up here have been biting like, yeah, man. Northern Pike is a bucket list fish for me. So if you guys aren't familiar, there's a lot of folks that know me and know that I love fishing. Yeah, man, I've yet to have caught a Northern Pike. Can you believe that? I've caught a lot of fish. Never caught a Northern Pike. So that's definitely a bucket list one for me. All right. Doesn't look like it. Looks like the questions have kind of dried up here. So thank you so much, guys. I'm going to let you all go. I appreciate your support. If you can give me just a thumbs up, doesn't cost you anything. I certainly would appreciate that. And if you are visiting for the first time, this is the first time you've ever come into the Stockwatch Sunday, you want to see more Stockwatch Sundays like this, and I put videos every day of the week. So as it relates to helping you become a better trader and even a better entrepreneur, if that's the avenue that you want to go down, we have the Barcast that goes live 4 p.m. Eastern time. We had to take a 2-week hiatus, but there will be a Barcast that airs tomorrow. So if you guys are missing out on that, we will be starting them back up tomorrow. And yeah, that's going to do it for me, guys. So thank you so much for tuning in to today's Stock Watch Sunday. I will see you all before the bell, and B. Smith is out. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, guys. Thank you so much.